So I just woke up. I know most people are working now. It's 10:25 in the morning on a Friday. People in India and Africa are awake. My two pastors, for some reason, are not on Instagram. I guess they only like two pastors, one from Kenya, one from Uganda. They only like Facebook. People that are hustling, meaning they're drug dealing, they don't go online. Never. If they go online, it's a logo, is their picture, it's a fake name. It's kind of like the women that try to have sex with me. I haven't had sex since before September 15, 2017. I have still refused to have sex, even though my wife is dating, my ex-wife rather, because I still want her back. She knows that. The problem with me sleeping with other women is that I feel like I'm cheating on my ex-wife. Now, if my friends were to hear me say this, they'd be like, "You're a fucking idiot. She divorced you a long time ago." But I'm thinking about running for a higher government other than the city of Chicago mayor. So eventually I'm going to need a first lady. And I trust 0% of people and 0% of women, especially women. The reason I don't trust women, forget the men part. The reason I don't trust women is because 5 out of 10 of them cheat. They're either thoughts, super thoughts, or Instagram models. They either promote themselves as single and ready to get blown, meaning get fucked. South side is Montana 300. I Googled it yesterday because I started to freak out. I'm like, holy shit, is these folks or people? Did I just represent people on the south side and folks on the north? So I don't want to start a war in Chicago. That's the last thing I want to do. Now, having Latin King best friends, if you notice, that's all I mentioned. What you don't know is I know insane unknowns in my family. I know Four Corner hustlers. I know black vice lords. I know Spanish vice lords. Freaks and gay lords have never admitted themselves to me because I don't know if they're folks or people, but that was back in the day when white gangs existed here in Chicago, Illinois. And the problem is, the only reason I say Chicago, Illinois is because, a lot of times this is in Switzerland and stuff like that when I put it on YouTube. And when I say the word Chirac to the white women on Lyft, they're like, "Oh, is that a community?" Swear to God. 9 out of 10 white women don't even know what the word Chirac means, and they live in Chicago, Illinois. They love sleeping with black and Hispanics because we love sex and we're the most sexual people you ever sleep with. Asians, I know nothing of their traditions. First woman I tried to sleep with was a Puerto Rican, and I think I was 14, 15. It was before I joined the gang as an MLD. She, of course, didn't want to be with an MLD. I tried to sleep with her, and she had a dry vagina, and I didn't know any better being a kid. First porn I saw was as a little kid, and, it taught me how to jerk off for the first time. The cum that came out of me was just yellow, because it was the first time ever. And That was from some porn that I got in grammar school, which is St. Genevieve in Fullerton by Cicero. First school I ever went to for kindergarten and first grade was Lloyd, which is between Cicero, Armitage, and Fullerton, and Laramie, in between there. First grade, there was a bully there, and they, I guess, were scaring me, which is just a big kid. And as a little kid, of course, I was scared. So my father decided to take me out. So did my mother, of course. And I don't know who afforded what, but St. Genevieve was not cheap. Public school, of course, is free. So I went through the whole St. Genevieve experience. Witnessed my first murder at the age of 9 from my living room window. And when I witnessed my first murder at the age of 9, as a kid, it didn't affect me. I didn't think it was a bad thing. I just thought it was normal. You know, people kill each other. There's wars, right? I mean, it just made sense to me. Now, if you want to be killed by the CIA, then what you should do is you should prove that we didn't land on the moon. There's this one video of this gentleman that's on a CIA hit list because he proved as a film director. Hello, love. Proved as a film director that, and I know love is not your name, so that's why I say it, because I see the whole thing. And, you know, I don't use people's names or locations when I talk about people, especially fucking OGs. You don't hear me say shit about OGs. OGs that are retired from drug dealing, the reason I don't like to mention or bring them up is not because the Latin King governor is going to kill me, and it's not because the MLD governor is going to kill me. It's not because they're going to have me killed. But when they control the state of Illinois as OGs, it's easy as hell for them to make a couple phone calls. And I could start a war with anyone I want in Chicago. Now, the fact is that I don't want to start a war. I talked about Montana 300, and then I started freaking out. I was like, holy shit, is he a black disciple? Or is he insane? No, what the fuck? Did I just start a war in Chicago with rappers? So I had to Google him, Montana 300, and then it said he is a black disciple. And it said that he is from the South Side. He is from the 60-something street. And black and white is black disciple for him. So I'm like, all right, cool, then at least we're folks. Because the only reason I worry about that is because I have the Latin Kings on my left side and I have the MLDs on my right side. I was never a Latin King. Like Ron to Strong got violated by Cato. The pill made me so mad from the truth serum that the FBI gave me through Oscar's fake name, that I started to gangbang again at the age of 44. And I remember putting a note to Ron to Strong, and I pay for his subscription, so I know he listens to me. You know, I love that man. Never met him a day in my life. And he's a brother from another mother, in my opinion. Ja_Rook on TikTok. I think he was a black disciple, but I could care less what gang he was in because he's a religious man today. Wrong to Strong is a religious man today. I am a religious man today. So I got this tattoo on my left side somewhere between 18 and 21. And the reason I put it on my left side is because I feel the folks is inside of my heart for the rest of my life on the right side. It's easy for me to gangbang. I gangbanged for a few days and had to talk to the chief because the chief was upset and starting to get pissed off at me for not selling crack and meth and heroin. And he was like, nigga, you the fucking law, you a CI. I was like, nigga, I'm not the fucking law, I'm not a CI, and if you want to fight right now, we can fight the fuck right now. So I got violated to get joined again, because I love violations. I absolutely love violations. I mean, I want to get violated right now. And I will never be a Latin King my entire life. I can get violated by OG and be OG Latin King. I have no desire to do that. I was upset with Ron to Strong on YouTube when he said that he became a Latin King, but when you're a gangbanger, you have a different lifestyle than white people that don't even know what the word Chirac means. And I learned that from Lyft, which I refuse to do today because I'm already a celebrity in my 5 buildings. And the only reason I know that is because in the elevator, I would go up to certain people and be like, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm a motivational speaker, you know, this and that, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, that's cool. I like motivational speakers. And I'm like, they're like, well, what's your name? I'm like, oh, I'm motivational speaker Martinez with a K. They're like, we follow you. I'm like, what? I'm like, you follow me? You know me? And they're like, we know your full name. I'm like, you have children with you. How the hell do you follow me online? She's like, my kids watch your TikTok. I was like, but I swear a lot, even on TikTok when I started it. And I'm like, I got 2 banned for life accounts on TikTok. I got 1 banned for life account on YouTube. I got 1 banned for life bank account now from Chase, which was my favorite color and my favorite bank. And I'm sure the FBI did that because it was the day of I was supposed to receive my disability. You know, you don't fuck with the government. I've told you that 1,000 times. If you want to talk about the fact that we didn't land on the moon in 1969, I strongly believe we did not land on the moon. Now, you know, you can say words like that, and if I come up with proof of it, like the guy came up with proof of it, he said there's a 4-second barrier between a moon talk to the earth talk. So what was happening is that they were telling him, wait 4 seconds, and then say hello, or no, wait 4 seconds and then talk. So because he had that proof, he's on the CIA hit list, and you fuckers need to be careful. You know, if you want to go ahead and talk about truths, you know, you can get killed. If you want to bring up the El Chapo word, which is in my family bloodline, your whole family will be killed in front of you, and then they will slowly kill you. We received your RX order. They will slowly kill you in a way that you can suffer, because they don't like to kill you right away, because then there's no way to watch you suffer. And so they'll just chop out little pieces of your body at a time and then watch you bleed out, just like they did to the DEA agent in Mexico. And when they did that, the government took over. That's when the CIA got involved. And if you don't believe the military are serial killers, dangerous to say. If you don't believe CIA are serial killers, dangerous to say. If you don't believe FBI are killers, dangerous to say. If you don't believe Cook County Sheriff and CPD are not killers to be in front, not dangerous to say. Now, if you don't understand anything, let's say your intelligence is very low, your IQ is very low, and it's not 4 figures, not like mine, like Limitless, the one movie. My IQ has to be very high. The neuroscientist told me, I can tell from this car ride between the downtown and O'Hare, you're highly intelligent, Mark. And I was like, really? I'm like, how can you tell that just from the drive? She's like, this is what I do for a living. I'm a neuroscientist. And I was like, then why are you going here to that state, to this state? She's like, to go visit family. And I was like, but then why do you always say, you keep saying over and over again, you don't go on vacation? And she was like, because I do not go on vacation. I was like, wait a minute. So you only leave the city of Chicago to go visit family and you don't take vacations? She's like, the only vacations I have taken is to go meet other scientists from different countries and different states. I said, wait a minute, did you say the word country? She's like, I said the word country, absolutely. She's like, I've been here, I've been there, I've been here, I've been there. I was like, holy shit. And, you know, when I speak to neuroscientists, and I was screaming at her at the end when I dropped her off at O'Hare, I was like, you know, would you please take a test of me? I took a 4-hour test that took 6 hours. She's like, Mark, it took 6 hours because they were interested in you. Those tests do not take more than 4 hours. And if you think they don't know what they're doing, they do this repeatedly every day. So they did 2 hours extra on you because they were interested in your IQ. And I was like, but my IQ, I mean, I was so dumb when that happened. That was just after my car accident, and we were talking to neuroscientists, and I had to take that test, and it wasn't working, and, you know, in my opinion. And she's like, Mark, it was working. I do not have to test your brain. I do not have to give you a test. You are extremely intelligent. You have the memory that's photographic. Most people do not have photographic memories. I feel like I can wait to go into my airport, go into O'Hare right now, and give you a piece of paper to memorize, and I think you're going to tell me it within 30 seconds. And I said, yeah, I can read the whole page, memorize it, and tell you within 2 minutes. She's like, I'm not going to test you. She's like, I can tell just by talking to you that you can do that. I'm like, you can tell by just fucking talking. I started swearing. I'm like, if you complain to Lyft, go ahead. I got Grubhub and DoorDash. She's like, I'm not going to complain to Lyft. This was a stimulating conversation. She's like, I'm in love with brains. I'm in love with people. I'm in love with learning about the neural networks. You don't understand most of the things about your brain. I was like, absolutely not, because I refused to Google it. She's like, Mark, Google it. So then I went home, and I was thinking, and I was like, I'm not going to Google it. So last night, in the middle of the night, I was thinking about Montana 300. I'm like, let me make sure he's folks and not people. And then I found out he was a disciple. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not starting a war in Chicago. That's the last thing I want to do. I'm not going to call Latin King to make several phone calls. I'm not going to call my MLDOG to make several phone calls. And I got violated to be a game man again because I love violations. And I didn't need to call my governor to go in there. I just loved it. And when I wouldn't drug deal and they were pissed off at me, I was like, there's another way for me to fucking prove this. And he's like, all right, we're finna need you for that. So I said, well, cool, whenever the fuck you ready, man. Whatever we gotta do, whoever we at war with. So I lasted there a few days because they know where I live. They know my apartment number as well. And I got really pissed off one day, and I said, I'm starting to get to the point, I had a secret conversation with the chief. I'm like, if you don't mind, can we finish this junta and have these niggas leave? And junta's a meeting, by the way, and if you're not Latino. And so then we're over there having the meeting, and I was like, you need to take me to the back, have these niggas get out the basement right quick. Let's fucking talk. So then he had the niggas go outside, start game banging again. All these kids were all like this, all like that. What's up, folks? Maniac, psycho. And, that's how all the kids were. Drunk and high than a motherfucker. And when I was game banging, I was just in the hood with my hoodie on, loving this shit. I felt like I was 15 again. And, I felt young, which stimulated my mind to the point where I was like, oh shit, I'm young again. So me and the chief had a private conversation, and I told him what I was willing to do to him because he was starting to piss me off. And then he said, I could fucking kill you right now. I was like, go ahead and do it. I'm suicidal, nigga. And he's like, God damn, bro, you're fucking crazy, nigga. I was like, yeah, I am fucking crazy. The fuck, you want me to prove it? He's like, nigga, why won't you fucking hustle with us, though, man? You could teach the kids how to hustle and get away with that shit. I'm like, exactly why I'm not doing it, motherfucker. I ain't trying to sell crack. I ain't trying to sell heroin. I ain't trying to sell lean. I ain't trying to sell these Xanax bars. I'm allergic to Xanax, for fuck's sake. So he's like, how the fuck are you allergic to Xanax, nigga? I'm like, because I took that shit and started crying hysterically like a fucking little bitch. He's like, God damn, nigga. He's like, you psychotic for real? I'm like, nigga, I've been to the psych ward. I can't even count how many fucking times. I'm like, nigga, you want to go to the psych ward with me? We can go right now. He's like, nigga, I ain't finna go to the psych ward. What the fuck I finna go to the psych ward for? I was like, exactly. He's like, I'm psychotic way more than these fucking kids. He's like, why you keep calling us kids? I'm like, because you are fucking kids. I ain't gonna say his age, but I'm like, these fucking kids are teenagers, man. I used to be a fucking teenage MLD from KC and BK. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. He's like, you was from the KC? I was like, nigga, I never said that shit because that's the second Twilight Zone KC to K-Dub. He's like, God damn, nigga, you was a real motherfucker D. I'm like, nigga, I'm a real motherfucker D till I die. He's like, man, nigga, would you do this for me? I'm like, nah, man, you know what? I'm starting to get done with this shit. I'm like, you want me to get my governor on the fucking phone? It's going to be real fucking easy. I'm like, if you want a war between the OGs and the MOD kids, we could do that right now. If I get killed right now, it's going to be a war. And matter of fact, I'm going to have the Latin King start a war with you. And I'm going to have the MOD OG start a war with you. He's like, you know what Latin Kings? I'm like, nigga, my governor best friend is the Latin King. My governor best friend is the MOD. I die, not only that's going to happen, but my cartel family in Mexico finna come out. So not only you going to fucking die slowly, your entire family going to get assassinated and raped in front of you, nigga. He's like, nigga, you Mexican for real, nigga. I'm 3/4 Puerto Rican, 1/4 Mexican. My father's half and half. I got family in Texas I have never met in my entire life because my father refuses me to meet the cartel. And I don't even believe he has a single phone number to the cartel family in Mexico. Thousands of them in Mexico. Thousands. And he's like, damn, nigga, you know, why don't you go home and chill out right quick? You know, you can come through mine and shit. I'm like, you know what, nigga, I'm done, man. I'm done with you. I'm done with this gangbanging bullshit. You know, I don't even know why I was in the mood to do this shit, but I was. I love putting a hoodie on, putting my sweatpants on, carrying straps, and walking around. You know, that shit made me happy. Pastor invited me, Samaka, John. And, you know, he asked me if I could talk to him. I'm like, no, I got too many things to do in my mind. So the reason for this whole, I call it a junta. It's not a junta. The reason it is for this announcement is there is no announcement. The announcement is I did gangbang at the age of 44. True Sam is a motherfucker. I wanted to kill my father, my sister, and my brother-in-law after the True Sam took place. I never wanted to kill my father before this. I ever wanted to kill my little sister before this. Never wanted to kill my brother-in-law except for a few times. And because I'm convinced he's a liar. A very secretive liar. And that idiot, when he was drunk and high with me, told me, he's like, nigga, you don't remember when you was cheating on your wife? I'm like, no, motherfucker. If you would tell me, that would be fucking helpful, goddammit. Because I called the girl I supposedly slept with and she died of coronavirus. And he's like, well, what the fuck happened when you called? I'm like, the motherfucker snapped at me, said she was selling pussy for sex. She's lucky to have a grandson. And then said that I was probably one of them too. That's why I got her phone number. Then fucking hung up on me. He's like, damn, nigga. He's like, nigga, when you were cheating, you were doing this, you were doing that. I was like, I was cheating? I was like, fuck, man. I was like, well, how the fuck do you know I was cheating if I don't tell anybody I'm cheating? If you don't usually tell people when you're cheating. He's like, no, nigga, you were cheating. You were foul. I was like, I was foul? He's like, how the fuck do you know I was foul? He's like, because I would tell you all the time, delete your text messages, nigga. Delete your phone calls, nigga. Go ahead and get rid of your fucking phone and get another one. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, damn, this is the fucking husband of my sister. Yeah. Yeah. You know, this is why I get into a mood to want to kill my brother-in-law. Because several reasons I haven't done it and several reasons I would. I would do it because I believe he's cheating on my sister. I believe he didn't do that in his wedding. After the wedding, I believe he did that before. I learned about massage therapy from my father. Caught him at a newspaper. You know, when you tell truths, you know, being an MOD, you got to either be silent or loud in your fucking face. And if you notice, when I do my rap videos, I'm always in your fucking face. Because I was trained to be that way. When I was a Chase banker, besides the fact that I was learning Tony Robbins since the age of 9 from the first murder witness as a kid, you know, I was trained sales by my father. I was trained sales by Agmendino. W. Clement Stone, Lou Holtz, Tony Robbins, etc., etc., etc. There was this one black man. I need to Google and find out his fucking name. It pisses me off that I forget his name. He beat cancer. Now, when this black man, motivational speaker, got cancer, I was afraid. I was like, holy shit, he's finna die of cancer. My entire family died of cancer. Every single person in my life has died of cancer. This is not about PHP life insurance. I'm finna start by Thanksgiving. If you do not call your insurer today, and if you do not use the words tomorrow or next week, two things I'm gonna say about that. One, tomorrow and next week never happens. Two, if you don't call them right now, you'll never do it. I am not selling you PHP life insurance right now. I'm telling you to call your fucking insurance company where you have your auto, where you have your home, where you have your life insurance. Tell them I want it raised to $1 million yesterday. If you don't use the word yesterday, then there's no sense of urgency like Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk went through poverty. I'm going through poverty right now. And poverty enriches people that are motivational speakers because it makes us happy to be poor. Like the fact that the FBI took Chase away from me. You know, they were hoping that I just go to some box I have full of money and start paying for shit. I have a molar gone. Broken molar. Drug dealers don't have that shit. I can't pay credit cards I have with Chase. I have debt beyond control. I think I'm 6 figures in debt. For credit cards back in the day, it was just like, I don't know, 40 to 50,000. Because when you're mentally challenged and you go crazy, you know, I swear to God, I'm a bus driver, right? By heart. I was a bus driver with Pace for 3.5 years here in Illinois, in Des Plaines. And when you become a bus driver and you get a CDLB, you also get what's called a passenger endorsement, which means you're trained to the point to protect human beings from dying in traffic. So then all of a sudden, a guy who doesn't drink and drive because he's professionally trained how to drive was all of a sudden wanting to drive to Peoria, which makes no sense because I've asked my entire family and friends who the fuck do they know in Peoria. Supposedly I was unfaithful to my wife, who I still want to this day. And, you know, if I become a mayor of Chicago, I'm going to be upset that she's not with me. And if I become like in the Senate or Congress and lead to becoming a president or vice president, I'm going to be upset that she's not going to be the first lady. And when you're a real man, a real motivational speaker that refuses to cheat on your wife, then you refuse to date other women. You know, I could be in a massage therapy yesterday. I could have prostitutes in my crib right now with the websites. You know, if you want to get killed by blacks walking into your crib, that's a good idea. Man, I highly suggest you go online, you find prostitutes to come to your crib for $200, $300, and then get killed by the black man or get robbed by them for your money so they can steal your TV and steal everything they want from your apartment or your house. Then they know where you live, and then they can go ahead and shoot you, stab you, or just kill you so you stay quiet. Highly recommend you go online, men, and try to sleep with women. Great idea. I'm sure women are totally honest, especially prostitutes. So if you don't already know the prostitute from human life, do not go online and look for pussy. You know, I swear to God, sometimes I teach you guys things, and it's like I ask myself over and over again, why are you teaching people things? Like, why are you even wasting your time? Like, people don't listen to you. They know you're psychotic. Elon Musk has Asperger's disorder. Albert Einstein had the inability to memorize his own home phone number. But Albert Einstein didn't believe about string theory. MIT mathematics, they didn't prove it 50 years later. Yes, they did. And then Elon Musk, if you want to believe we flew to the moon in 1969, I believe we did not. And I believe that Russia got to the orbit, spent 500 hours there, like that CIA hit list guy said they were, and they never went to the moon. The only reason I believe that is because the photography from the moon, supposedly, to Earth, even though this one guy got knocked out by whatever the name is of the one astronaut. This is why I don't believe it. 3 reasons. 1, the picture had no stars in it. No other planets. 2, the guy who controls the NASA organization to go onto the moon quit the day before we flew to the moon. Why did he quit? 3, the astronauts refused to speak. Refused to speak except one of them. And then that one man knocked this other guy out or hit him in the face when he was talking about we never flew to the moon. So you don't believe in the military. Okay. My Afghan Iraq veteran best friend from Chase is a serial killer. When you go to the military, what do they teach you? Think about it. Think about it. Exactly. They teach you how to kill people. Now, CPD is trained to defend themselves from being killed and to kill you back, not to kill you first. Cook County sheriffs are trained to control the prison or deliver warrants. When the pandemic happened, my cousin told me I'm at home. Either that or I go back to county. And I was like, how the fuck are you going back to county? I thought you delivered warrants. You were promoted. He's like, nope, not in the pandemic. I was like, damn, that's fucked up. My CPD stepsister, Googleable, of course. That's why I don't use her full name. Googleable, of course, too. If you want to fuck with a Chicago police officer, okay. You want to fuck with a Cook County sheriff? Okay. You want to fuck with an OG like me? Try that. You don't even know the martial arts I know. The only martial arts I show in the gym are UFC shit. I would never tell you the martial arts I know. I have been trained martial arts since I don't remember what age. And the only one I'm going to mention, because it's going to freak you out, is Kali Arnis. Kali Arnis, Kali Arnis. If you're a salesman, you say things 3 times when you introduce yourself. You say, hello, how you doing? Oh, so nice to meet you. Hello, come in. That's it. You said hello 3 times. If you are trying to develop a closing, like when I was at Chase Bank, meaning you sold as much as you can sell to them. I would have people come in with life insurance payments of $500,000. And as a Series 6 and 63 investment licensed banker, I told him, I remember this one guy, this white guy, tall guy. He was an entrepreneur, and then he got accepted your friend request. I forgot I sent a lot of friend requests. By the way, Meta changed the Facebook. Anyway, let me go back to Chase. So your friends have to know you to get new friends. So you basically, because Instagram Kids is going to come, so is TikTok Kids. So I told this guy, I was like, I'm usually not blunt honest, but you seem like you're in a hurry. And I usually build a relationship with people, and I build rapport like 5, 10, 15 minutes before we have any discussion about Chase. But since you're in a hurry, I'm just gonna freaking, I don't swear, Chase. I'm like, I'm just gonna freaking tell you, I'm licensed Series 6 and 63. And if you're wasting your time and money putting this into a savings account to make 0.2% interest, I'm gonna be effectively honest and tell you that's really dumb. And, you can go to my manager and he'll tell you I'm the best banker here. So you're talking to the only Series 6 and 63 licensed banker here. So if you really believe that putting $500,000, $500,000 into a savings is a good idea, you're wrong. He's like, no, you don't know me. I'm an entrepreneur. I got this business, that business, and these investments with real estate. He's like, I already have an investment banker with Bank of America. I'm like, then if you're with Bank of America, why are you here with Chase? He's like, because I believe in diversity. I was like, well, if you believe in diversity and you're a white man, which I'm not racist, I'm Puerto Rican and Mexican, you should understand that you should learn from diversity and learn from yourself. Meaning, if you're at Bank of America with an investment banker and you want diversity, you should have an investment banker here at Chase as well to have diversity. You know what he said to me? He paused and said, I've never had anyone from Chase tell me this. And then paused and looked around with the check in his hand. And it was like, you know what, Mark, I something inside me tells me you're actually accurate. And I'm going to go ahead and deposit this. But here's my business card. And call me within a few days. Not today or the next day because I'm busy. But call me within a few days. Call me by Thursday or Friday. And when you call me, just remind me who you are in the conversation we had real quick. Because I talked to so many people from my businesses. And I'm like, I will invest $500,000 with you. I'm like, sir, do I look excited? I'm excited for you, not excited for me. He said, let me shake your hand. Shook my hand, went to the teller, deposited $500,000. I called him exactly 3 days later out of respect for him. He said, you don't have to tell me who you are. I know who you are. I remembered it. And I've been talking to everybody about you. And I was like, well, great. I'm like, well, I have my investment banker. I can put him on the other line or we can make an appointment. He's like, I will come to you whenever you tell me to come to you. I said, okay. So we made an appointment and they saw the investment banker and I won. Now, when you're a salesperson, you win by helping others. You don't win by helping yourself. If you're commission based in your mindset, you're going to lose. I was top 1 of 10 bankers and all the other 9 bankers didn't give a fuck. They just didn't care. They wanted to just get a check and go home. They were order takers. I remember my manager took me to the office one day. I thought I was going to get fired. He closes the door. We had a sales manager. We had an assistant manager for the teller side, a sales manager for the banker side. So he calls me to the office. Everyone's outside. Locks the door. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck did I do? I don't even remember doing anything wrong. So then locks the door. He's like, do you want any coffee or water? I was like, no, I got that on my desk. I'm like, what is going on? There's a Starbucks right next to us. He's like, no. He's like, Mark, relax. I know you're a little hyper with your sales. Just relax. You're not getting fired. I was like, okay. I'm like, well, what's the issue? So he was like, Mark, you got 5 checking accounts already. I'm like, yeah, isn't that great? Isn't that what you want? He's like, yeah, but it's only 12 o'clock. I'm like, exactly. So aren't you excited about that? He's like, no, I'm not excited about that. I'm like, you're not excited? I opened 5 accounts. They all have savings and want life insurance. 2 of them want to buy houses now. They had no decisions to buy houses before they met me. They want to come see his name because they want to go ahead and start to buy a house now because of me in the summertime when it's a hot market. My dad's a realtor. And they were like, it's like, Mark, you opened up 5 accounts and the other 9 bankers have 0. That's my problem with you. I said, you got a problem with me? I don't like to use that words with you. You have a problem with me? He's like, yes, I have a problem with you, Mark, because none of these people are receiving commission. I said, but we have a sales manager. I honestly asked you 1,000 times to allow me to be. I wanted to be your position. I'm getting blocked to be at your position. I'm being blocked to be a mortgage officer. I'm being blocked to be a private banker north of here. I'm like, I don't understand. It was, I think, on Peterson Avenue. And I'm like, I don't understand why you're upset at me for opening bank accounts and selling them more products on top of the bank accounts. He's like, Mark, because you're not giving opportunities for the other people. I'm like, I'm not giving opportunities because the moment these people walk in, I don't even allow them to come to my desk. I don't care what they're dressed like. I don't care if they have dirty shoes. I go up to you and represent myself and represent Chase correctly. And then if you want to open up a checking account with $50, it doesn't affect me because then I want to be introduced to your entire family after that. And then one of your uncles or aunts can be rich. He's like, Mark, you really feel that way? I was like, 100% I feel that way. Why am I telling you this, sir? He's like, so you open accounts to get more accounts? I was like, wait a minute, how did you become manager? He's like, well, I was a good banker and I did this and I did that. I was never Series 6 and 63 licensed like you, but I was a top banker and I'm a manager. I'm like, so how is it my job to stop me from selling and your sales manager can't teach the other 9 people how to get in people's faces and sell them? How is this my problem? How is this my fault? And then he paused. He's like, let me think. He's like, so you're saying the assistant manager should cover the backside, which is what happens. They cover the money side. Then you want the sales manager to train the other 9 bankers and not you? I was like, that sales manager, I'm sorry, sir, but he sucks. He's terrible at his job. There's no ability to teach me a single thing. He has no knowledge to teach me a single thing. And it disappoints me when I talk to him. I'm like, the Afghan Iraq veteran almost knocked him out in the middle of the branch. I don't know if you know this. He's like, I do know this. But he's a veteran and we don't mess with veterans here. I was like, well, of course you don't mess with veterans because they're in the military and they protect our lives. They protect our freedom. They protect our peace. I'm like, if you don't believe a lot of things, there's a lot of things I can teach you that you don't understand. He's like, no, I know you're smart, Mark, but it's like, this was way before my traumatic brain injury. He's like, I know you're a good hustler and I know you talk to customers correctly and I know you're very influential, but none of the bankers are getting bank accounts by noon. You already have 5 of them. And I was like, yeah, because I'm making 60 plus a year. I'm like, why, this and that. By the way, I got fired from Chase for $120, $130 I stole off a debit card. Such bullshit. And they ended up stopping Chase Bank to make debit cards there because the machine would keep continuing to stop working. And we had to keep printing debit cards and people had to keep putting in their fucking PIN numbers. So we had to watch them do this. So I didn't know that I should just turn my face so they could trust me. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway, so I'm making $60,000 plus a year, married, in an apartment, and I'm going to steal $120, $30 from somebody? Does that make any fucking sense to you? Anyway, so then I said, the assistant manager, this and that. I'm like, my opinion is that the assistant manager shouldn't teach me the freaking thing. My opinion is that you're blocking me from getting positions outside of this branch. My opinion is because the old branch sucked because of how small it was and the little traffic we had. That's why I sucked there too. And, there's this one lady, Vanessa. She's lucky I don't mention her last name. She's the one that ruined my marriage. And what she did was she tricked on me. And supposedly what she tricked on is she said that I said to her that I've been sleeping and cheating on my wife for a year. And another thing I don't remember because of my traumatic brain injury. TBI sucks. The FBI truth serum sucks. And, the FBI truth serum made me angry to the point I wanted to gangbang again. That doesn't make any sense for a 44-year-old. Wanting to get fired from Chase or getting fired from Chase. The manager walked me into the office and told me you're about to be fired in a couple of days, Mark, which is illegal with Chase. So I won't mention his name. The other lady, Vanessa, when I have enough subscribers, when I know it's to the point that I'm controlling the city of Chicago Northwest Side, I am going to demote her and where she works. There's another church where a Christian refused to give me a car ride to go meet entertainers because I want to stimulate my rap career. And I know where he works and his location and what bank he works at, Bank of America. I'm going to demote him and the entire church. What's disappointing is there's this one lady that goes to that church, has been going for decades. She's very nice, but you know what? She could start a church herself. And I'm going to demote that church. I'm going to demote that man. Because if they're teaching Christian men that I'm a drug addict because I'm asking for a car ride, and then you say no because you're working, and then ask for a car ride from your law enforcement friends, and then you say no because they're working. So then I ask you for 40, 50 bucks to get a Lyft ride, and you say no. Why are you asking me for money? You are not a religious man. You are a fake Christian. Now, fake Christians exist. I disrespected Jason Alicea, who owns State Farm Displays, because he didn't pick up my phone call when I called him for several days. I called the office. He didn't pick up my phone call. So then I found out that his family was dying of the coronavirus. My dad told me. He's like, I've been receiving comments on Facebook that you are trying to assassinate your best friend. I'm like, and? He's like, yeah, I understand you and your mentality, but his grandparents are dying of the coronavirus. I was like, oh shit, so then I got to freak out for a little bit and start thinking about it. I was like, oh fuck, I fucked up. He's like, yeah, Mark, you have to realize that sometimes you got to take time to think why people don't return their phone calls and then think that there's good reasons. He wasn't trying to not be your friend. He's a Christian. So I texted him one day I texted two people one day from my new phone number. That's going to be my business line coming out Thanksgiving. And, my address as well is so fucking easy. If you don't know the projects I live in, it's 5441 Northeast River Road, Chicago, Illinois, 60656. That's where 3,300 people live. Now, I learned a long time ago that half this building knows me by my full name. And the only reason I know that for sure is because there was these Muslim people sitting down in the lobby. And when I walked in with the medical bracelets after the psych ward, he was like, this one guy and this one girl were waiting for what? I have no idea. I walked in after 12 days of not being online. And the Jewish man I threatened to kill was probably wondering where the fuck I am. And I threatened to kill his entire family. So I'm sure he was probably thinking I was just planning it. But I was in the psych ward. That's when the FBI started with me in the psych ward. And they had this one pretend guy that he was 50 years old, but he had a mentality of a 4-year-old and wanted to see if I would want to kill him. And so then they did this pretend thing where, I know I'm all over the place. So they did this pretend thing that he got hit in the face. And the social worker supposedly got his elbow hurt and his arm hurt. And I was wondering if he was in a cast. And then got a black eye. And of course, there's makeup. And all I did was knock on the window for them to go ahead and protect him from getting killed by a retarded man. And I only use retarded men for people that are liars. Retard is a bad word, and so is nigger. Bad words. Spick doesn't even bother me. And, I'm part black being Puerto Rican. If you don't believe that, you don't believe Taino Indians and slaves were being raped by Europeans and made a Boricua, but what the fuck ever. I keep a baby picture up of my son, not an adult one, just because if I accidentally have it shown and you're stupid, besides my 100% Mexican cartel family, my MLD governor and my Latin King governor best friend, if you're stupid to go ahead and go to that address, oh man, I actually want you to. So, that was a distraction. Hello, everybody here? I'm by myself 100% of the day. Somebody sent me a friend request. Whatever. So, my logo coming out is by this one person I met on Lyft. And I'm a loyalist, so I believe in being loyal to my ex-wife. I believe in being loyal to this artist. I believe in being loyal to my Maniac Latin Disciple governor, and I believe in being loyal to my Latin King governor best friend. While I'm under investigation for a year, it's supposed to be 9 or 12 months. For me, it's going to be lifetime with my DNA from my fingerprints. Do I look afraid? They already know I'm to the point where I'm psychotic. So if they have someone in the hallway come up to me wrong, I will stab them in the neck. They know that. The reason I like the neck is because it's the fastest and easiest way to kill you. And there's other areas of the body where I know how to kill you with a knife. And these are things I'm not going to consult you with. These are not things I'm going to teach you with. If you want to learn how to kill people with knives, Google it. If you want to learn how to be a pyromaniac and learn how fire works, go ahead and start fires like I do. If you love gasoline, it's very easy to get with your car and a gallon of gas. The Jewish man I had, it's very easy to burn down his house. Very easy for me to burn down his whole house. Very easy for me to break in and assassinate him. It's very easy to do those things for me because I'm not afraid of getting caught. Running for the mayor of the city of Chicago as an MOD, OG, best friends that I have, cartel family that I have in Mexico and Texas, probably New Mexico all the way up and down. You have to understand, a lawyer that has law firms should not be president of the United States. Now, Barack Obama, I incredibly believe in Barack Obama. Barack Obama is president of the United States right now, 2021. Biden is not the president at all. He's a speaker. Obama's the president. They have the vice president being part black, not fully black. The reason they made her part black is because the diversity will have the voters want to vote for her. Now, if you don't believe Mark Zuckerberg, who owns Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Insta, controls the world, meaning the United States as well, to elect presidents, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. Go see a psychiatrist. The reason we need a rotation of Republicans and Democrats is because we need Democrats to save people, to save their social lives, to save their lives of them being so many reasons. And then we need the Republicans to start wars, to go steal the oil from Afghan and then go to Saddam Hussein and kill him for fun, just to have a reason why we went over there. Bin Laden did not knock down 9/11. I know that from being at ATA Airlines, because the people were on the ground watching buildings fly out of the sky. This one cab driver especially, I remember the cab driver conversation. He's like, where's my uncle? Where's my uncle? Where's my uncle? I was like, I don't know where your uncle is. This is 9/11. I have no idea what's happening. This is the first 2 days of 9/11 that I remember where I met my ex-wife. And, the guy on the bottom and the woman screaming from the bottom of 9/11 Tower told me, I'm hearing multiple explosions. I'm hearing multiple explosions. They were both on the phone. It was a husband and wife. I'm hearing multiple explosions. I'm hearing multiple explosions. And then all of a sudden, the phone goes out. Now, if you're an idiot, you're not an architecture, an engineer, you're not Elon Musk Jr. like I am, then call an architect, call an engineer and ask them, if a plane hits a skyscraper, does it fall down? Yeah, there's not YouTube videos of planes hitting smaller buildings not falling down. But if you're not intelligent, then go ahead and make those phone calls. Now, if you don't believe that iron and cement did not collapse within a couple hours by explosions, if you want to believe Bin Laden had his high and drunk, usually high on opiates, but the Quran instructor on Lyft told me about the whole Bible from downtown till here. And we talked about 9/11. He was like, what do you know about 9/11? And I told him what I know about 9/11. I'm like, what do you know about 9/11? He told me what he knows about 9/11. He said Saddam Hussein was either loved by half of us, which was loved by me, or hated by the rest. And I'm like, well, that's just politics. He's like, the chemical wars that we did was based as a retaliation, not based off of all of a sudden he just woke up one day and decided to kill whole countries. I was like, really? I was like, interesting. So I was like, so you don't believe he did it? And I'm like, 100% I believe he didn't do it. I'm like, well, there was people knocking down his statue and this and that. I'm like, it's called the military influencing them. And I was like, fascinating. So Bin Laden had nothing to do with 9/11. Saddam Hussein had nothing to do with 9/11. All Bin Laden did was have enough people that were Muslim on the planes probably. And another thing I'm going to teach you about 9/11 is this. If one plane hits a skyscraper, like we were afraid of Sears Tower when that happened, which is Willis Tower now. When 9/11 took place, not only was it devastating to all of us that witnessed it, kids don't even know about the devastation that you felt, but think about this. An airplane hits one building, falls down almost immediately, after you get to witness all these bodies fly out of the sky. Allows people from underneath the floor that got hit to run for their lives. Then all those people die of cancer from inhaling all that residue. So then that building goes down within an hour. And then the other skyscraper next to it goes down within another hour. And then 2 other buildings go down within the next couple hours. And then all of a sudden, it just so happens that all the money that the United States held safe underneath New York was just all of a sudden gone. That's interesting. I'm sure that was an accident. I'm sure there were some kids there with trucks wanting to steal all the money from the United States. And then all of a sudden, Pentagon had a plane go into it. Yeah, I'm sure we didn't have an Air Force. Wait, we didn't have a Navy either. Wait, an Army? No, we didn't have an Army. Did we have a National Guard? No, we had police and fire departments that were lost about what's happening. Interesting. So then we allowed one plane to hit a skyscraper. The president of the United States did, George Bush, and then whose vice president set it all up. And then, which is very dangerous to say, so I can get killed tomorrow or tonight. And then all of a sudden, FBI is listening to this whole conversation. So if all of a sudden you don't believe that the second building could go ahead and collapse right away from the second airplane, let's allow a third airplane, fake airplane, not a missile, to go into the Pentagon, where all of a sudden the people in the Pentagon had appointments that were really important on the other side of the building. Interesting. I'm sure the Air Force would have just allowed all these planes to continue to hit buildings. Yeah. It makes a lot of fucking sense, right? Yeah. Air Force does not care about human beings. Military does not care about human beings. They care about this country. They care about America. They do not care about any other country except us. So if you don't believe in America, if you don't believe in freedom, I hope I could download this, put this on YouTube, because Meta changed everything. I'm done with the whole 9/11 experience. If you believe we went to 1969, we landed on the moon, you're dumb, deaf, and blind. If you believe that before the internet existed and artificial intelligence, then we went to the moon with the radiation that belongs in outer space. The radiation doesn't affect us because of the blue line around this world. But yeah, you're smart. Now, if you don't believe this government lies to us every day, if you don't believe secret societies exist,